good morning. I am Nidhi Ghetia. Today we study our subject that is Pharmacognosy and Phytochemistry 2. That's code is BP 503TP. Okay, in this subject we learn our second unit, that is in second unit we study the drugs. Okay, so today we study the phenyl propionates and flavonoids. Okay. So today's our study of the content, that is phenylpropionates and flavonoids and lignan. Okay. So first we study the phenylpropionates. So in this topic we consider the all this part, that is introduction, function, classification and isolation and purification of the phenylpropionates. Okay. So now we start our lecture from the introduction of the phenylpropionates. So, phenylpropionates are group of the organic compounds with 6 carbon aromatic phenyl groups and a 3 carbon propane tail of comaric acid. Okay. In most phenylpropionates structure having the organic compound with 6 member ring of the carbon. Okay. 6 carbon ring, that is aromatic phenyl. Okay. And 3 carbon propane tail of the comaric acid. Okay, so they are synthesized by plants from the amino acid and phenylalanine and the tyrosine via cyclamic acid pathway. Okay, so phenylpropionates compound constitutes a broad range of structural cyclic substance. Okay, so they are formed as a result of deamination of amino acid and phenylalanine by enzyme phenylalanine aminolase. Okay, so PAL, the short form, that is PAL. Okay, so phenylpropionates can be structurally different due to the hydroxylation, glycosidation, alkylation, phenylation, sulfonation and methylation process. After all the process, they generate the different structures. Okay, so they are ingredients of the essential oils obtained from the anise, cinnamon bark and cloves and used for the fragrance and aroma therapy. Okay, these all the ingredients of the essential oil. Okay, so that essential oil formed from the anise, star anise, then cinnamon bark and then cloves for the purpose of the fragrance and aroma therapy. Okay, see here's all the examples, structures of the phenylpropionates. First, that is cinnamic acid, then cinnamaldehyde, then eugenol, then coumarin. Okay, these all are the phenylpropionate structures. Okay, now we will see the functions of the phenylpropionates. So phenylpropionates serves as essential components of the number of structural polymers. Okay, so they provide protection from ultraviolet light. So they protect the plant, defend against herbivores and pathogens. Okay, the functions of the phenylpropionates, that is protect the plant, defend against the herbivores and pathogens. Okay, then phenylpropionates mediated plant pollinator interaction of floral pigment and scent components. Okay, so these all are the function for the first, that is the essential component for the number of the structural polymers. Okay, so then second one, that is a protection from the ultraviolet light. Okay, ultraviolet light radiation. Then protect the plant and defends against the herbivores and pathogens. Okay, and then last one, that is the interaction as a floral pigment and scent components. Okay, these all are the function of the phenylpropionates. Now we see the classification of the phenylpropionates. Okay, so there is still no generally accepted classification of these groups of the compounds. Okay, no generally accepted classification of these group components. So classification is based on the current impressions of the biosynthesis of the phenolic compound. Okay, so phenylpropionates can be conveniently be treated as the large class of the natural components consisting of the following groups, like simple phenylpropanoids, then second one that is a complex phenylpropanoids, and third one that is a biogenetically related phenylpropanoids. Okay, these three main class of the phenylpropanoids. So in this first class, that is a simple phenylpropanoids. So in the simple phenylpropanoids, we see some examples, that is a cinnamyl, alcohol and their derivatives like ether and glycosides. Second one, that is a cinnamic acid and their derivatives. So ester, glycoside and other derivatives. Okay. Then cinnamide, then cinnamaldehyde and phenylpropanes. Okay, these all are the simple phenylpropanoids. Okay. Then second one, that is a complex phenylpropanoids. So complex phenylpropanoids, in this phenylpropanoids glycoside base and phenylthene. Okay, these two are the present in complex phenylpropanoids. So oxidative coupling products like lignoids, flavolignan, then xantholignan, then coumarin lignan, then alkaloidolignan, then neolignan, then lignan, then dimers and oligomers of the phenylpropanoids. These all are the structures we consider in the complex phenylpropanoids. Okay, then third one, that is a biogenetically related phenylpropanoids like flavonoids and coumarin. Okay, flavonoid and coumarins, other components. Okay. Third class, that is a biogenetically related phenylpropanoids. Okay. In above we mentioned the third class, that is a biogenetically related phenylpropanoids. So now we see the isolation and purification of the phenylpropanoids. So many of the phenylpropanoids, especially lignan, glycoside and conjugated of the phenylethanoid and non-crystalline compounds, so they requires a separate examination. Therefore, additional efforts needed to isolate them. Okay, so refined preparative method of the isolation, including high pressure liquid chromatography. Okay, that short term, that is a HPLC, and preparative, that is preparative HPLC. Okay. Then fractionation by various organic solvent is also effective for the separating phenylpropanoids. Okay, so the use of the column chromatography is also effective method for the isolation of the phenylpropanoids. Okay, in the refined preparative method of the isolation, that is a HPLC method, and also in this effective result we go through the column chromatography method also for the isolation of the phenylpropanoids. Okay. So now we see the flavonoids. Okay. So in flavonoids topic, we consider all these part, that is introduction, function, classification, then chemical test and isolation and purification of the flavonoids. Okay. So introduction of the flavonoids, that is flavonoids or bioflavonoids, bioflavonoids, that Latin word, that is flavors, means the yellow. Okay, are secondary metabolism of the plant and fungus. So chemically, flavonoids contain a 15 carbon skeleton, which consists of the two phenyl rings, that is A and B, and one heterocyclic ring, that is a 3 carbon bridge. Okay. So third number carbon, that is having the bridge. Okay, and then this carbon structure can be abbreviated by the C6, C3 and C6. Okay, attached with the C6, C3 and other C6. Okay. So now we see the functions of the flavonoids. So to attract the pollinator animal, flavonoids play important role as the plant pigment for the flower coloration, producing yellow or red, blue pigmentation in petals. Okay, so flavonoids in higher plant involved in a UV filtration also, then nitrogen fixation and floral pigmentation. These three process are follows for the higher in the higher plant. Okay, first that is a UV filtration, then nitrogen fixation and floral pigmentation. Okay, so they may also act as the chemical messenger, then physiological regulators and cell cycle inhibitors. Okay, they all are the act as the chemical messenger, then physiological regulators and cell cycle inhibitors. Okay, so flavonoids is combination with the rhizobium living in soil can leads to root hair and deformation and several cellular responses such as the iron fluxes and the formation of the root nodules. Okay, in now we start the another topic, that is classification of the flavonoids. Okay, so in classification of the flavonoids can be subdivided into different subgroups like depending on the carbons of the C ring and on which B ring is attached, and the degree of the unsaturation and oxidation of the C ring. Okay, so depends on the subdivided into different subgroups depending on the carbon of the C ring. Okay, C ring carbons now have depends on the only carbon C ring. Okay, on which B ring is attached to, and the degree of the unsaturation and oxidation of the C ring. Okay, as per that we divide the subclasses. Okay, then flavonoids is which flavonoid in which the B ring is linked in position 4 are called the neoflavonoids. Okay, then while those in which B ring linked with in the position that is 2 can be further subdivided into several groups on the basis of the structural features of the C ring. Okay, and then the subgroups like the flavones, flavanones, then flavonols, then flavanols, then catechin, then anthocyanin, and then chalcone. Okay, these all are the subgroups of the flavonoids. Okay, so first group, that is the flavones. So in flavones, ring A is substituted by the 2-phenolic hydroxyl group, that is C5 and C7. Okay, 2-phenolic hydroxyl group are present in the ring A substitution, that is carbon number 5 and carbon number 7. Okay, so they have a double bond between the 2 and 3 and a ketone in position number 4 of the carbon ring. Okay, so this represent the majority of the flavonoids. Okay, so flavones are widely present in the leaves, flowers, fruits, and glucosides. Okay, in flowers, leaves, flower, fruit, like some of the examples, that is celery, parsley, pepper, then camellian, then mint. Okay, so these all are the major source of the flavonoids. Okay, now we see the second one, that is a flavonols. So compare with the flavonols. So flavonols having a hydroxyl group in position number 3 of the carbon ring, which may also be glycosylate. Okay, so flavonols are flavonoids with a ketone group. Okay, flavonols are flavonoids with a ketone group. Okay, so they are building blocks proanthocyanesis. Okay, proanthocyanesis. So example, that is a buckwheat rooting. Okay, now we see the third subclass, that is a flavanones. Okay, flavanones. So flavanones also called the dihydroflavonones, then also having the C carbon C ring that is a saturated. Okay, so therefore unlike flavons and double bond between the position number 2 and 3 is a saturated, and this is only structure difference between the two subgroups of the flavonoids. Okay, like flavonoids are mostly present in the lemon, and then sweet orange and bitter orange. Okay, now we see the fourth class, that is a flavonols. Okay, so flavonols are also called the dihydroflavonols. Okay, are the 3-hydroxy derivative of the flavanones. So they are highly multi-substituted subgroups. Okay, so example, that is a taxifolin and dihydrocamphorol. Okay, so this is a flavonols. Now we see the fifth class, that is isoflavonols. So as anticipated, isoflavonols are the subgroup of the flavonoids in which the B ring is attached with the position number 3 of the C ring. Okay, so the B ring are attached with the carbon number 3 C ring at a carbon number 3 position. Okay, so example, that is a tephosine in Sarapunkha. Okay, then 6th number class, that is a flavonols. So flavonols are also referred as a catechin. Okay, flavonols also known as the catechin, as well flavin 3 all. Okay, so in flavonols, hydroxyl group is almost always bound to the position number 3 of the carbon, position number 3 of the C chain. Okay, aromatic C carbon ring. Okay, so hydroxyl group is bound with the position number 3, carbon number 3 of the C ring. So example, that is a catechin and epicatechin. Okay, now we see the 7th number class, that is anthocyanins. Okay, so anthocyanins are the aglycone and anthocyanin. Okay, of the anthocyanin. So they use for the flavyllium cation. Okay, so sugar unit are bound mostly to position number 3 of the C ring, and then they are often conjugated with the phenolic acid and such as the ferulic acid. So they are the only groups of the flavonoids that give color to plants. Okay, all other flavonoids are colorless. So here sugar unit, because the here one aglycone part are attached are present in a anthocyanins. Okay, so sugar unit are mostly bound with the position number 3 of the C ring, mostly bound with the position number 3 carbon of the C ring, and they are often conjugated with the phenolic acid and such as the ferulic acid. Okay, they known as the phenolic acid and also known as the ferulic acid. So they are the only group of the flavonoids that gives the color to plant. Okay, ferulic acid, these are only one group of the flavonoids that generate the color to the plant. Okay, so all other flavonoids are colorless. So example, that is pelargonium flower. Okay, so in there consider that is a pelargonidin. Okay, then 8th class, that is a chalcone. So chalcone do not have their central heterocyclic nucleus and their characterization by the 3 carbon chain with the ketone function and alpha beta unsaturation. Okay, so chalcone are the flavonoids with open structure. They are classified as the flavonoids because they have the similar pathway. Okay, so their example, that is a safflor red and carthamine. Okay, safflor red. So these all are the structure of the flavonoids. So first, that is a flavones, then second, that is isoflavonon, then flavonoids, then anthocyanins, and then flavonols, then chalcones, These all are the structures of the flavonoids. Okay, in center, that is a basic skeleton of the flavonoid ring. Okay. So now we see the chemical test of the flavonoids. So in first, that is a Shinoda test. So in this test we take the dry powder or extract plus 5 ml of the 95% of the ethanol, and then further add the few drops of the concentrated HCl and 4 pieces of the magnesium toluene. Okay, so after this all process, first we take the dry powder or extract and adding the 5 ml of the 95% ethanol, and further we adding the, after the mixing of their mixture, and then we adding the few drops of the concentrated HCl and 4 pieces of the magnesium. Okay, and then after this process, they some little change in their solution. First, there is a pink color indicates the presence of the flavonoids. Okay, either pink color generate, that indicates the presence of the flavonoids, and then orange to red indicate the flavonoids. Okay, flavones. Either orange to red color, orange color mixture the orange color mixture are turned in a red, so indicates the flavones are present in the mixture dry powder. Okay, then red to crimson color, so they indicate the flavonoids are present, and crimson to magenta color, so they indicate the flavonoids are the present. Okay, so this is a first test, that is a Shinoda test. Now we see the second test, that is a sodium hydroxide test. So in this test we take the 5 mg of the compound in dissolved in the water and warm and the filtered. Okay, and then adding the 10% of the aqueous NaOH around 2 ml of the solution, and this produce the yellow coloration. Okay, first we take the 5 mg of the compound is dissolved in the water, warm and filtered. Okay, dissolve in the water, and after the filtration we add the 10% of the NaOH around 2 ml of the solution. Okay, and these produce the yellow coloration. So change in the color from yellow to colorless on further addition of the dilute HCl. So that's indicate the flavonoids are the presence. Okay, presence of the flavonoids. So first we take the 5 mg of the compound in dissolve in the water and warmed. Okay, water and warmed, and after the warm mixed properly and then filter. Okay, and then filter their mixture. We take the 2 ml of the mixture from the filtrate, and further addition of the 10% NaOH around 2 ml of the solution, and this produce the yellow coloration. Okay, some amount of the NaOH, 10% NaOH are adding in 2 ml of the their filtrate mixture, and then yellow color are produced. So they, and after the further dilute HCl are adding, and they color indicates the change of the yellow to colorless on the dilute HCl or acid are adding, so they indicates the presence of the flavonoids. Okay, this is the second test, that is a sodium hydroxide test. Now we see the third test, that is a para-dimethyl aminocinnamaldehyde test. So a colorimetry assay based upon the reaction of the A ring with a chromosome P. So dimethyl aminocinnamaldehyde DMACA has been developed for the flavonoids. Okay, this assay are performed in the colorimetric machine. Okay, instrument. Now we see the isolation of the flavones and flavonols. Okay, so the first we take the powder of their plant material is extracted with the boiling. Okay, so the above mixture is treated with the lead acetate to remove the tannins and lead salt. Further filter it and dilute filtered with the water and acidified with HCl acid and boiled for some hours so that sugar free flavons and flavonols and precipitate generated. Okay, so separation of that precipitate of the flavons and flavonols is extracted with the alcohol. Then isolation and purification is done by the fractional crystallization of their acetate or by recrystallization from the some organic solvents like benzene, carbon disulfide and alcohol. Okay, so here first powder plant material is extracted with the boiling water. Okay, then mixture is treated with the lead acetate and remove the tannins and lead salts. Okay, so the further filter and dilute filtrate with the water. Okay, they are filtered with the dilute with the water and acidified with the HCl acid. Okay, hydrochloric acid, and boiled for the some hours, and sugar free flavons and flavonols are precipitated. Okay, they generate the sugar free flavons and flavonols of the precipitate. So separation of their precipitate of the flavons and or flavonols is extracted by the alcohol. Okay, then further purification, isolation and purification is done by the fractional crystallization of their acetate or by recrystallization from some organic solvent adding like the benzene, carbon disulfide and alcohol. Okay, so now we start the third topic, that is lignans. So introduction, functions, classification and identification test of the lignans. So in first that is the introduction. Okay, so the lignans are the subgroup of the non-flavonoids polyphenol found in plants. Okay, so they are derived from the phenylalanine by cyclic acid biosynthetic pathway. Okay, they are not present in the free form in nature, but linked to the other molecule mainly as a glycosylate. Okay, glycosylate derivatives. Like examples like the flaxseed that contains the mainly isolarisosinol. Okay, resisinol, seco resinol. Okay, so their basic chemical structure consists of the 2-phenylpropane, unlike unit linked by the carbon-carbon bond between the center atoms of the respective side chains. Okay. Now we see the functions of the lignans. So lignans provide protection against the herbivores and microorganisms for the plant. Okay. Second one, that is the lignans. Lignans shows the antioxidant role in the plants and defends against the biotics and antibiotics. Okay. Then third one, that is the lignans are well known for their potential anti-inflammatory and antioxidant activity in laboratory model of the human disease. Okay, these all three are the functions of the lignans. Okay. Now we see the classification of the lignans. So based on their skeleton, carbon skeleton, cyclization pattern and the way in which oxygen is incorporated in the molecule skeleton, they can be divided into 8 groups. In 8 groups, first one, that is a furan, second one, that is a fluorofuran, third one, that is a dibenzyl butane, fourth one, that is a dibenzyl butaroacetone, fifth one, that is a dibenzocyclooctadiene, sixth one, that is a dibenzyl butyroacetol, then seventh one, that is a aryl tetraline. Okay, then eighth, that is a aryl naphthalene. Okay. So these all are the structural of the lignans. Okay. All are the eight structures, seven structures. Okay. So identification test, that is a high performance liquid chromatography HPLC with a photodiode array detector. Okay. So the random mass spectroscopy has facilitated to qualitative and quantitative evaluation of the lignans. Mostly these lignans identification tests are performed in the HPLC and mass spectroscopy. Okay, qualitative and quantitative evaluation. Okay, so now we see the two drugs. In two drugs, we see the tea. Okay, so tea synonym, that is a tea plant, tea shrub, and camellia tea. Okay, in Gujarati tea we call the cha. Okay, in Hindi chai. So biological source of the tea, that is it is consist of the dried leaves and leaf bud of the Thea sinanis. Okay, their family, that is a Theaceae family, and they distribution in India, China, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and Japan. So large cultivation of the black tea from the India and Sri Lanka, while green tea cultivation of the large scale from the China and Japan. Okay, in black tea are cultivated in the India and Sri Lanka, and green tea cultivated in the large scale from the China and Japan. Okay. So now we see the chemical constituents of the tea. So nearly 4,000 bioactive components contained in the tea, of which 1/3 contributed by the polyphenol. Okay, a large group of the plant and chemicals that includes the catechin, that is of flavanols, and then major catechins are the epicatechin gallate, that is a ECG, then epicatechin that is a EC, then epigallocatechin, that is a EGC, then epigallocatechin gallates, that is a EGCG. Okay, so these all are the major catechin and epicatechin constituents. Okay, so green tea containing a high concentrated of the 3 catechin and black tea than the black tea. Okay, green tea having the high concentrated of the catechins. Okay, so other components are purine, alkaloids via caffeine, thiophelline, and theobrine. Okay, so the traces of the compound present in the tea are amino acids. Okay, so the amino acid or amino acids. So carbohydrate, proteins, chlorophyll, and volatile organic compounds, fluoride, aluminium, or minerals. Okay, so black and green tea are extremely good source of the vitamin C. Okay, black and green tea are the good source of the vitamin C. So here these are the some structures of the main constituent of the catechin. Okay, first there is a epigallocatechin, then second one, that is epigallocatechin gallate. Okay, third one, that is epicatechin gallate, then epicatechin. Okay, so these 4 are the structures of the tea chemical constituent, main catechin. Okay, so now we see the uses of the tea. So purine alkaloids like caffeine, theophylline, and theobromine are the CNS stimulants and diuretic. Okay, in generally we use the tea as a CNS stimulant. Okay, in stress position or any CNS stimulant requirement. Okay, and also used for the diuretics. Then catechin having the antioxidant, anti-cancer, and anti-aging effect also. Okay, catechin having the antioxidant, anti-cancer, and anti-aging effect. So green tea generally used in the obesity and weight loss treatment, because green tea having the full antioxidant effect. Okay, fully antioxidant major effect, that is anti oxidant of the in green tea. Okay. So now we start the second drug, that is a ruta. So there is synonym, that is a rui, garden rui, German rui and sadab. Okay. So their biological source, that is it is consist of the fresh and dried leaves of the ruta graveolus. Okay. Their family, that is a Rutaceae family, and they are distributed in, it is a native to the peninsula, and it is now grow throughout the world or in gardens. Okay, this ruta is throughout the world in garden, that is a cultivation part place, that is all the gardens in whole world. Okay. So their chemical constituents, that is the plant containing general phytoconstituent are glycoside, alkaloid, then volatile oil. So in glycoside, flavonoids, rutin. In alkaloids, that is conquy, sergenin, then cycamine, graveolin, and furocomarin. Okay, so these three alkaloids are the present. Then volatile oil, that is a methyl nonyl ketone, then methyl N-octyl ketone. Okay, these two volatile oil are present in the ruta. Then alcohol, that is a methyl, ethyl, carbinol, pipene and limonene. Okay, these three alcohols are the present. Then other compounds such as diacetylene, then gamma fergarin, then petalins, and then cocu-sanguinin. Okay, sanguinin. So flavonoids are rutin and quercetin. Okay, these two flavonoids also present. So glycoside in also flavonoids, rutin are present, and flavonoids, that is rutin and quercetin present. Okay. So now we see the uses of the flavonoids. So ruta. So rui is used for the painful condition, include the headache, arthritis, then cramps and muscle spasm. Okay, as a pain reliever, we use this rui. Okay, ruta. So in Chinese medicine, rui is considered as the immunogogu and hemostat, then intestinal antispasmodic, sedative, uterine stimulant, then vermifuge, and rheumatism, cold and fever also. Okay, so in Chinese medicine. Okay, now we see in Poland, it is used for the aphrodisiac and choleratic. Okay, in choleratic. Okay, so last one, that is the herb, or is used medically as a bitter and aromatic stimulants, ecobolic, and suppression of the menses in food and beverage. Rui and its oil are used as the flavoring agent. Okay, rui are also used in food and beverages, that is a flavoring agent. Also they bitter aromatic stimulants. Okay, and ebolic and in a suppression of the menses. Okay, is a suppression of the menses, as also purpose the pain relievers, also useful in the food and beverages as a flavoring agent. Okay, so thank you to all.